Hello, Memphis! How are we doing tonight? I'm here and we have about 1,000 people in this church here tonight. On a Friday night, not too bad. It's so good to see each and every one of you all today. Good evening. You know, it's so special to be here. This is my first time ever in Memphis. And I landed last night and I could just feel the wave of importance of this place wash over me. So much of when I started to think about my role and all of our role in the world as a young person, I thought about places like Memphis, genuinely and truly, because, you know, for all folks that may say, and can we please just hear it for our pastors and our speakers and our reverends here at New Direction Christian Church. Thank you all so much. But, you know, there's this conversation about Jesus being a socialist. And I listen to the reverend's words, and, you know, you hear the television turn on, and they're talking about this and that. But when I think about where my first political consciousness was formed, it actually didn't come from a book written by Marx. It came from watching what happened in Memphis, in Montgomery, and Selma, and Atlanta. I remember as a little girl, I read this children's book called The Watsons Go to Birmingham. And as a small child, I gained an understanding that our country was a source and a place and a site of not just great injustice, but great miracles. And when I think about the sacrifices that people have made for us to gather here in this church today, I know about the duty and feel filled with a sense of purpose about what we are here today together to accomplish. We're not here today by accident, Memphis. We're not here, each and every one of us in this room, by accident. So when I landed last night, I felt that wave. And I decided to pull up Dr. Martin Luther King's last speech about the mountaintop. Now, we know that he was a prolific writer, orator, of course, the leader of our nation. We learn from him about not just the dream, but the drum major instinct. And we learned about that mountaintop that he told us about the day before his life was taken from us. And he talked about that mountaintop. And I sat there and I listened to his words, and I wanted to share some of them with you all today. He said, "Something is happening in Memphis. Something is happening in our world. And you know, if I were standing at the beginning of time and the Almighty said to me, Martin Luther King, which age would you like to live in? Strangely enough, I would turn to the Almighty and say, if you allow me to live just a few years in the second half of the 20th century, I will be happy." And he said, now that's a strange statement to make, because the world is all messed up. The nation is sick. Trouble is in the land, confusion all around. That's a strange statement. But I know somehow that only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. And I see God working in this period of the century in a way that men in some strange way are responding. Now, I'm just happy that God has allowed me to live in this period to see what is unfolding. And I'm happy that he's allowed me to be in Memphis. And I feel the same way sharing this with you all tonight. Because we are here to pick up where King left off 58 years ago. He told us that night that we must develop a kind of dangerous unselfishness in order for us to prevail. Earlier today, we walked through and we saw what was happening here in Memphis. We sat at an intersection, and I could see on this side of the street a methane plant, on that side of the street, coal ash plant. You all know coal ash is more radioactive than nuclear waste. Over here, wastewater plant. Over there, the gray water plant facility from the new XAI data center. And all of this within 1 or 2 blocks of each other. I mean, I'm from New York. I say blocks. I don't know. I don't know. We share it out here. And the thing that we have to see is not just these facilities, but the human beings that surround them. Because outside of that, across the street from that, I saw little girls with asthma, their grandmothers with COPD, their inhalers and their chemotherapy. And who's paying for that? Not the folks requiring them to need it. This is the darkness. But this is what it takes for us to see the stars. And we have a star here in Memphis with Justin J. Pearson. Brothers and sisters, this responsibility now belongs to us. And that's exactly why we must send him to Congress. I think about this because 58 years ago, King was assassinated right here in Memphis. 58 years later, to the month, the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act. And 58 years later, you could set your watch to it. What was the first place they went after to redraw the seat? Memphis. That wasn't an accident either. That was not an accident either. And the efforts that it took for them to get to that moment, we must double as we descend here on Memphis to organize and care for our brothers and sisters. We cannot afford to leave Tennessee behind. We cannot afford to leave Kentucky behind, Alabama behind, Mississippi behind, Georgia behind, South Carolina behind. There is no country when we are split apart. About a month or two ago, we were in Montgomery, Alabama. Sister Presley and I were in Montgomery, Alabama. And one of the things that we said was that it is time for the North to roll up to the South. We will not be chased out of places anymore, brothers and sisters. It is going to take all of us together, rejecting the separation, for us to organize and speak life into one another, because we will see the day where we will turn the crooked path straight, Memphis. Justin is a fighter. He's an organizer. He is the son of a preacher and a teacher who worked themselves out of minimum wage jobs to provide for their 4 sons. And 5 sons. My goodness, I'm sorry about that. 5 sons. And he is the right person for the job. Because long before Justin ever stood on the floor of the Tennessee House fighting for dignity, he grew up in southwest Memphis, the most polluted area of the city. He saw firsthand the effects of growing up in a neighborhood that everyone had written off. The rising cancer rates, the children almost born with asthma. So when an oil company planned to push a crude oil pipeline through a historically black neighborhood, putting an entire community's health and drinking water at risk, Justin refused to stay silent. He went door to door. He packed public meetings with neighbors. And against all odds, together with the people of this incredible city, they forced 2, not 1, but $2 billion corporations to abandon their polluting projects. That's what Memphis does. It rises up and it fights back. We cannot listen to the siren call of those voices that say what we do doesn't matter, that we don't matter. Oftentimes, people try to accuse folks of us of being something like too woke. It's because they don't like when we wake up. Because when people wake up, Memphis, we stand together. When people wake up, they stand for their wages. When people wake up, they kick out the corporations giving us cancer. When people wake up, we demand that billionaires pay their fair share. When we wake up, our schools get better. When we wake up, we fight for guaranteed health care for every American. When we wake up, we realize all that money we're spending on bombs abroad could be spent on schools right here at home. So yeah, they're calling us too woke, because we're realizing that the math isn't adding up here in America. And it is long past time that we help our brothers and sisters wake up too. We saw this when Justin demanded action on gun violence, and the Republicans responded by expelling him from office. And then you sent him right back to serve in the Tennessee House. You see, Justin's story has never been just about one man. It has always been the story of Memphis. And this election is the latest chapter of that lineage. Because after the Supreme Court weakened one of the Voting Rights Act's most important protections, this was the first district that was torn apart after that decision. Tennessee's only majority black congressional district. Republicans in this state and across the country want to overturn everything that black political power has made possible. Because when black Americans had their right to vote protected, we established health care, Medicare, Medicaid, the Clean Air Act. They know that when black Americans exercise political power, they deliver progress for every American. And they believed that they could weaken the political power of the black community here. Instead, they awakened a movement. You see, it's very clear to me that the people turning back the clock on our rights are afraid of Memphis. They're afraid of this city's legacy of fighting back, of their hunger for justice. They believed that if they broke apart this city, they could break apart its political power. They believed that if they changed the map, they could change the future. But they were wrong. New Direction Christian Church, we know that what man meant for evil, God meant for good. Every time someone tries to diminish the voices of Memphis, this city finds another way to speak. Every attempt to silence becomes another reason to organize and a magnet for more to come. How many people here are from the state of Tennessee and Memphis? Right around here, make some noise. Now let me ask some questions. How many people here are not from Tennessee? We've got some folks here. We've got people who are answering the call. Because Memphis, we want you to know that you are not alone. I know that we've got some folks from New York that made the trip to come down here as well. This is what it's going to take. Because we saw the flares have been going up. The call has gone out. The call has gone out in Montgomery. The call has gone out in Atlanta, in Selma, in Memphis, saying it is time to come. And people are starting to answer the call to support your all's leadership and example. And it starts in small actions like today, but it's not going to stop today. Because again, what began as an attempt to weaken this power has become an opportunity to strengthen it. What was intended to divide has become an opportunity to organize. What was intended to silence has become an opportunity to speak louder than ever before. And tonight, we have the opportunity to finish a story that others thought that they had written and carved up. They think they drew a Republican district. What they don't know is that they just woke a lot of people up. So we're not rallying today for the primary, brothers and sisters. We are here for the general election. We are here to knock every door and make those holding that pen of injustice, carving up that map, regret the day they ever dipped the ink in the well. It starts with Brother Justin J. Pearson. It does not end with Brother Justin J. Pearson. Are we ready, Memphis? It is my honor to introduce to you my brother and our next congressman, Representative Justin J. Pearson.